Okay, so this is Reaper. About Reaper there. It's a great audio editor. I highly recommend it. And you can pay either 60 euros or 250 euros for it, depending on the scale of your business. If you're a company, then you should pay 250. If you're an individual, then you should pay 60. So it's very flexible. And as you can see, it has this ghosting. So all these tracks that send to that, you can see there are ghosts there, which allows you to line them very nicely. So you can see the final mixing result there. And it supports markers and regions just like Vegas. Marker, region. And regions, actually, here you can drag them like that and it cuts everything and moves it to a different place, which is very handy. And you can copy regions like that as well. There.
So this ghosting is 3 tracks mixed together.
Yeah, this is the mixed result. If I press play, I can hear them all together. Nice sounds.
But if you mute 2 tracks from here,
they will disappear from there.
And it's getting louder and louder.
Yeah.
And if you put a limiter here,
well, it doesn't necessarily get. It only gets louder if the signals are identical and the phases complement each other. Otherwise, it won't. But yes, you can put a master limiter here, like classic master limiter, which is free. And then you can really limit the signal if you want. It never goes above the top. These vocals, by the way, they've been shot with this very special microphone called Sanken CO100K. It has an extremely high frequency response, so it records frequencies way above the human hearing range, and they're human vocals, but they pitched down, and because they've been recorded with the high frequencies in them, you can still hear the high frequencies in there, and that's what makes them really monstrous. They're all human voices, they've just been pitched down. They had to be recorded with a special mic, but that's what you get. Very nice. Yeah, Reaper is awesome, I recommend it. And just like in Vegas, you can also stretch, you can do time stretching, and you can do it either by resampling, which just plays the pitch lower, or it can use different time stretching algorithms.
And what's the result? And
then you can also shift the audio inside the clip, and it's completely non-destructive. So all these edits you do, they're non-destructive, just like in Vegas. The original wave files are retained, and you can do like non-destructive, non-linear edits here. Click and crossfades. Just have to right click in the right place, like that.
Wonderful.
It's actually a lot quicker to use than Vegas because the screen response is much faster, and the graphics are anti-aliased. They look much nicer. And you can zoom in vertically if you want.
Because
like in Vegas.
Adobe program doesn't show everything. It goes in the values while you're, for example, this Adobe Premiere program.
Doesn't show everything.
Hey, precies.
You can go this deep. Yeah, it's a great program. It sounds like that because it's been time stretched a lot.
And how to disable time stretching?
Time stretching? I can just set the playback rate to 1 from there, and then it goes back to normal.
Okay.
So double click to access all these properties here.
Very useful.
You can reverse it if you want, like that. You can adjust the pitch by numbers in semitones if you want. And you can either add effects to the tracks, which then applies to everything in the track. But if you have this individual clip here, it can also has its own effects. So you can put an EQ just to that clip and nothing else.
Like in Vegas.
Yeah, let's try an EQ. Search filter. Like that. Let's EQ it like that. And now that effect is only in this clip here. and it shows, it has the little icon that it has an effects, and you can edit it from there. But it only applies to this clip, and everything else is played normally. Vegas does that as well,
Yes.
actually, but a very good feature to have. And they can also have their own envelopes, so you can add like a pitch envelope here. Now it has its own pitch, and you can have a pitch envelope for the whole track if you want, but the takes can also have their own envelopes. So you can edit it here, and then it moves with the event. It stays locked to the event, and you can have a custom range. Make that to 24 semitones, so we actually hear a difference. And then let's go crazy with this.
Ja, maar goed, dat is nog wel iets concreter.
Let's listen to what it sounds like.
Ja, en wat bijvoorbeeld...
Okay, you have to change the algorithm. The time stretch algorithm is wait a minute, where is it?
Die twijfels hadden bij de rol van juristen.
No, it should be here.
Heel ingewikkeld kaart.
Oh yeah, here it is. Sound touch, simple windowed. They got a different. It has elastic in it as well, and it comes with Reaper. Elastic sounds very nice. But if you uncheck that, then it only does resampling. Okay, it doesn't resample actually. Yeah, if you resample, then it changes the length constantly. That would be, then it would mismatch with the visuals. But yeah, very handy. So now it has its own envelopes. And I can and the envelope stretch is with the clip. And you can still apply the fades, of course, like that.
Maar baseer je het op? En je kunt alleen maar, je kunt geen prijs geven, je kunt zeggen ja, tussen dat en dat. Dat is het
Highly recommended.
waard en dat is het maximaal waard.
Okay, that's Reaper for you.
Is wat er